Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and I brought a friend.
Chillmonger first of his name.
Oh, geez, he's really doing it. First Oh my God. Anyway, okay, guys. So yeah, we're in fairly rare form today. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? How you all doing in lockdown currently? Hopefully, you're in lockdown and try and take care of ourselves, my peeps. Providing a little bit of entertainment here and there, and yeah, chill, man. We were actually just talking about the Batman thing.
Yes. Batman 89.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to just get into it? The
Yeah,
sales?
throw in the numbers, baby. Throw in the
Oh,
numbers. Let's get right
according to
into this.
comiccron.com, our friendly site that tracks the North American distributor, Diamond Comics. Okay, so it's Batman 88, 56,992. Batman 89, 56,409. There was no difference.
Yeah. There's different. What did you say? There was difference of like 500?
500.
Yeah. So that's Comiccron. In case you guys are curious, you didn't hear him when I was talking over him. My bad. What do you call it? Yeah, not too much of a difference in prices. Now, a lot of people are like, well, that doesn't make sense because I didn't get mine. No, actually, here's the deal. Much like the exact same amount of toilet paper was available for people, much like the same amount of hand sanitizer and Lysol wipes was available for people, suddenly different people decided, I'm going to go in and grab those. Saying like that was a rush where everybody's like, I'm going to run in, I'm just going to grab more than I need, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Similar situation. People who usually don't get Batman or who only get one copy or two copies of Batman decide to get 20 copies of Batman. And certain comic book stores allowed that. Nowadays, when you go to the Walmart or wherever, you're going to see limit of one per customer of certain items, right? Certain necessary items.
Mm-hmm.
More comic books companies need to be doing that because, yeah, like I said, or like Chill just said, there was really no difference in sales. Tinian announced that in private in a newsletter, so only amongst people reading his newsletter and whatnot. And yeah, it is what it is.
And he announced it after the order cutoff date.
That's right. He also announced it after the order cutoff date. He
If
didn't
people
want
would have known what was coming, in the grocery stores and the department stores, they would have had ordered more toilet paper. There would have been more toilet paper produced if we would have known what was coming. Same thing with this. If 2 months from now we would have known there was a demand, your local comic shop would have gotten extra Batman 89s.
That's right. That's
Demand,
right. Supply and demand. Yeah. Here's the deal, though. We still hate scalpers. We still hate scalpers. Just like those people, profiteers, like these people who think they're so clever. They run out and they're like, oh, hey, I got to the store first. There's an entire shelf of toilet paper. I'm going to sell toilet paper. I'm going to mark the price up by $5 or $10 because people need it.
Well, one is a global pandemic. One and the other's comic books. One's entertainment.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with scalpers as long as they are scalping, before that order cutoff date. Like, for example, Amulet, who debuted in Ms. Marvel, that character was announced well before the order cutoff date. So scalpers, go ahead, scoop that up, collect it, and keep it and sit on it, and one day it'll be worth something. You're doing a great job of boosting sales up for the comic book industry, and you'll hold them in your homes.
If they're pre-ordering them.
Wouldn't you though? If you were a scalper, you'd go to your LCS and you'd say, hey, get me more of these because I'm gonna get 10, and they'll have it.
If universally everybody said, hey, we need more, then they're just going to produce more. The idea of being able to sell these comic books is the idea that there's not more, that the demand is high, but the supply is low. That's when also, because if you say, hey, $20 for the first appearance of Amulet, meanwhile it's still in my comic book shelves and there's like 100 of them, I might be like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not selling it for $20 today. Or maybe they are, and some people are buying it. But throughout time, that Amulet comic is not going to be in stores anymore. The only place to get it is from them. They've got no problem. They've got a lot of space in their basements to, hoard that comic book. For everyone on the podcast who's just listening, I swirled my camera around to show you my basement.
You forgot this was a podcast, right? So anyway, knucklehead. I'm like, what is this guy doing? What do you call it? No, with with these things though, like you think about the difference between Superman or Action Comics #1 and the Death of Superman comic book.
Mhm.
Plenty of people still to this day have that, and you're not gonna. If you're paying, like if you go someplace and you see somebody selling it for $25, you could be like, really? And if they're selling it for more than $25, you could just slap them because, like, man, they are stupid, because you can get that. No matter where you go, you could still get that because they overproduce that,
It's also a death and not a first appearance. You can have
Okay.
many deaths. You can only have one
First
first appearance.
appearance of Doomsday. How about that?
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah. So
So, as opposed to Amulet. I mean, come on, man.
hey, I don't have high hopes for Amulet, but we'll see.
Mhm. Here the Jim Lee X-Men
Oh, the
with
like
those
highest selling.
with those 5 variant covers. You know what I'm saying?
There was
There were
5?
only 4 or 5, whatever they were. Those variant covers. Like, come on, man. It's just freaking out of this world insane at this point. You know what I'm saying? They're not worth anything. They're like, oh, hey, I got my hands on one. I'm selling one for $20. Really?
What's
Is
the
it
cover price?
all of the covers? I think it was like $2.99. It's like, really? You're is that for all of the covers or just one cover? Because you're silly if you try to sell one for, $20. Like, come on, man. Like there's so many of them. Who cares at this point? You can find them. You might not if you just go out and you look for it today. I need to have it today. Okay, well then you're gonna pay whatever. And that's what these people are hoping for.
Right.
But if you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna, take my time, I'm gonna look for it. It might take a month,
Yeah. I get facsimile issues of those recently. Like this whole year, Marvel put out the
Yeah.
debut of Spider-Man, the first giant size X-Men, and the first X-Men from Stanley Jack Kirby. I got those facsimiles, and to me, it's as valuable as the originals. As just as $3.99 instead of 10 cents.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, they're putting out second prints and things like that of these comic books. It's like, come on, man.
Did you
Nobody
see
cares.
the giant size X-Men where they're gonna get different artists to draw on it?
Yeah, they're
What do you
gonna.
think of that?
I'm actually annoyed by that because it's supposed to be in celebration of Dave Cockrum, the original artist. But you're not changing the writing; you're just changing the art. So how is that celebrating Dave Cockrum by having other people do his art instead of him?
I mean, because they're copying him, so they're.
Doesn't Greg Land get enough crap for that? I personally like Greg Land. I think that he's a great artist, and I
Me
don't
too.
care. Yeah, I don't care about like that one comics trope channel. Oh, he's the biggest tracer ever. Really? Is he tracing? He's copying. That's what art is. You look at something and then you replicate it. I don't understand what this guy's problem is.
And
It's like
I'm on.
what does comic trope draw? You know, it's like, what does he draw?
Well, we can't criticize art if we don't draw ourselves. Come on.
No, I can criticize the idea that this guy's sitting here complaining about this stuff. I'm sorry. Here, Jack Kirby, first person to ever draw Galactus. Well, we've redone Galactus. Should we complain about that? Maybe that's a bad example. Silver Surfer hasn't changed in forever. Everybody just keeps on copying Jack Kirby. From this point on, everybody's always copied Jack Kirby. So, oh my God. And anybody wants to say, oh, it's not the same. Listen, at the end of the day, I think that Greg Land is actually a friend of mine on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to him, and he seems like a decent, normal human being. He seems like a good person. You know what I'm saying? From the little interaction I've had with him. And I mean, for the love of God, man, like this is what art is. And you look at his genuine appreciation of art. It's like the guy's just drawing. He draws what he sees. He sees an image of that he likes on Sports Illustrated or something like that. He'll be like, "Oh, hey, I like that image." You know what I'm saying? Let me recreate that, but with a comic book character instead. I'm sorry, that's called copying. If that's the case, listen, I went to 2 years of vocational school for art. I'm telling you right now, apparently I don't know what the hell art is anymore because it was my interpretation. Art imitating life, life imitating art, vice versa, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It's just art, man. It's just drawing. I mean, the guy's not sitting there getting tracing paper and going over it. I mean, for crying out loud.
And even if he was, I'm unbothered because I just see the final product. It doesn't affect me how you got there.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people just, I don't know, man, whatever. Some people just really need content. So, hey, I'm glad that we're not in that situation.
Yeah, I still haven't posted a new Warriors video, and I'm not gonna. I'll talk about it here, but I didn't need to join the club.
Same thing. Same thing. I was literally holding it back until now. I was asked on the live stream that I did on my channel today. I was like, all right, fine, I'll get into it a little bit. But I'm saving all that nitty gritty for, well, in a couple moments. First, let's talk about Outlaws, issue number 1.
Yeah, the actual event that actually spawned it, which is one single issue, and it did it did what 5 issues or this big event would do. It established Kamala's law. It showed you Captain America, Captain Marvel, Vision was in that courtroom. We got representation of the older heroes, and it's not like the other Civil Wars where the heroes are fighting each other. It feels like all the heroes are with the younger heroes right now, except for the New Warriors. And who did we see representing the New Warriors? That Speedball, that Penance, that what's his real name?
Oh, I don't remember his real name.
Robbie Baldwin, is it?
Oh, yes.
Robbie Baldwin.
Son of a bitch.
I used one this time. Yay.
There you go. Had to make up for you. But this guy, man, right? Like as soon as I saw him, like, you son of a gun. And of course, what did he say? Hey, I know your situation. I know what you're going through. Trust me. I don't trust you. You're a piece of crap.
That's why I like Dr. Eve L. Ewing's writing. You got to say her whole name. She's Dr. Eve, Dr. Evelyn Louisius Ewing. This woman will read books from the past and figure out, hey, I can incorporate this into my story right now. Because I feel like she respected Civil War. Civil War 2 got mentioned. The whole Ironheart run naturally was going to be mentioned with the Chicago HQ that she had with the kids that she's mentoring in the after school program. So we got Immortal Hulk, which just happened recently because of the monsters with Roxxon trying to do dirty, and it's like this feels like it happens within Marvel. Maybe she's just respecting her cousin Al Ewing and giving him a little rub.
Her cousin. Oh man, but no, I thought it was very well written. I thought it was amazing, and yeah, it's a good point you just make. She made an event in a single issue. Wow. Completely shocked at how good that was. If this is what we can expect from her in the future, sign me up for every single thing that she does from this point on, because wow. What do you call it? She had them coming after Lunella Lafayette, Moon Girl, which is like, no, get her in the basement. I'm like, holy crap. This is what, like, this turned really quick, man. Oh, they went after they went to MIT and went after what's her name? Riri, which Eve was just writing recently.
That was the Chicago. That was the headquarters in her.
She's not at MIT anymore?
It was the other lab. She hasn't gone back to MIT in a while because she had beef with the dean. I don't know if she's officially quit yet. I don't know what's going on there. But I think she planned for her run to go more than 12 issues. So who knows?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't read all 12 issues. I dropped off at I think issue 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah.
Did you drop off that issue where it was a bit silly, but the Wasp shrunk Xavier down into her helmet? She was complaining, if you vomit, you get that on my hair, and that seemed like it was a stupid line. Now, spoiler alert for issue number 12, because she uses the Pym particles to her benefit, and remember, it made Xavier woozy and feel like throwing up. So that's why she got tipsy and fell into the wellspring of power where she came out and had her epiphany. But that little thing that was written in issue 7 came to fruition in issue number 12. So it feels like everything works for it, because that's the way Eve Ewing writes based on her 12 issue run.
Nice. Oh, I dig it. I definitely dig on that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Like, I'm really into Riri, and I hold her in high regards, and I just didn't like the way that she was written. I did go in there with a bias, though. The idea that's like, Ewing hasn't written comic books before. So she's going to have to get her voice down and whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop. And plus, I was in that big thing where it's like, I got to stop reading so many comic books, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it recently. What was I just reading? Shoot. What was I just reading recently? I think it was I was doing a spotlight on story for the Transformers from Marvel. And I just reading, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And just, going back and rereading this stuff again. And seeing how some of the stuff was really, well written and whatnot, but at the same time, looking at the idea that a lot of this stuff is kind of tropey today. And imagine if I was reading, like 30 comics a week. You know what I'm saying? Like I would often do before, 30 or 30 plus comics per week. Imagine if I was doing that back then. I wouldn't have thought Transformers so great. I would have needed more of a reminder of, what just happened recently. You know what I'm saying? So it just brings me to the realization, even further, greater realization how there are just too many comic books being written nowadays.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Except for DC, who are cutting it back.
yeah, they are. They're scaling it back a lot. I don't think DC knows what to do at this point. I mean, they've literally got a guy who's asleep half the time in charge of everything now, Jim Lee. I mean, the guy's an amazing artist, and just look forward to anything that he'll ever draw. But as far as his business acumen, I don't see a whole lot there, you know?
I also don't think an artist should be anything more than an artist. And I know Joe Quesada is an artist who became an executive. That's a writer's role, to be dictating what goes on. I feel like a writer would have a better grasp of storytelling than the artist who gets directions.
That's only because of nowadays. Back in the day, Jack Kirby was the storyteller, and Stan Lee would just fill in the blanks. Be like, "Oh, he's got this guy's doing this and this and this, so I'm gonna, write what I think that they're supposed to be saying." He would usually ignore Kirby's notes on the side of the page completely and just be like, "Oh, hey, blah 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 blah," and he would give them their own personalities, his own version of their personalities,
You would
and made
ignore
them. Yeah,
Stan Lee's notes.
no,
Jack Kirby.
Stan Lee would ignore Jack Kirby's notes. Jack Kirby was right. The artists, the comic books were always artist driven back
Uh-huh.
in the day. All of the artists would actually be responsible for telling the story, and the writers would simply fill in. Sometimes there would be like notes like, "Hey, I want to do a story where such and such and such," but the artist would just, like I'm going to read like a paragraph of what you got to say. I can't spend my days reading through freaking notes and notes and notes. You give me a brief rundown of what you want. I'm going to make the story. I'm going to draw the whole story. You just fill in what you want. You know? Yeah, it was like completely topsy turvy. Yeah, then the writers were in charge or whatever, and things just went crazy. I was just talking about it before in my live stream, but I think that the best days of comic books were when Jim Shooter was in charge because he was an amazing writer, a prodigy writer, but more importantly, he was careful about, um, uh, just like with Stan Lee, he was careful with continuity, which is
Mm.
something else because I see people tweeting about today, like writers tweeting about, yeah, it's really great when you get to write and you're not forced to be in continuity and blah, 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 blah. I hear you, brah. At the same time, the fans in general are completely disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I don't. There's some things you just shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Think about it first before you hit tweet.
Yeah. Please,
Would
by all means.
When Jim Shooter was an editor, would he put in editor's notes the way Stan Lee is known to do?
It wouldn't be him. It would be his people doing it. But yes.
Like his assistant editor?
Yeah, well, the regular editor. He was the editor in chief. So the regular editor of the comic book, yeah, they would be putting in everything.
Did you notice that in Outlawed, Eve Ewing had an editor's note? It was signed EE.
It was
Not
actually yes.
Alana Smith. It wasn't anyone else. It was her. Like the initiative that's being taken to say, well, Riri didn't read War of the Realms, so she doesn't know about this monster.
I remember that.
It's like, yo, you read that comic too? Good job.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. It's great to see those references because that's what's going to help out local comic book stores with, oh, I need a back issue. So let me go to my LCS and see if they've actually got this issue. That is good for business. Editor's notes are great for business. I'm reading a comic book right now, back during the Jim Shooter a comic book series, and I'm like, oh shoot, okay, so there are things referenced from 4 issues ago. So let me go back and see those. And I'm looking at those like, okay, that's why such and such is happening. Okay, cool. Oh shoot, this guy just left. And then it says, go and see where he's going in this issue of Alpha Flight. I'm like, oh crap. So let me run over to that Alpha Flight issue and look at that really quick. And but like that, I've actually got that one. Yes, I actually do, because I'm doing a spotlight on story where I want to get complete details of everything that's happening here. So it's like, if these characters, it's like, I'm talking about it here, but I'm going to do it in this comic book. It makes readers say, oh shoot, well, I kind of want to see what's happening. So let me just grab these issues of this comic book. hey, this is a good comic book. Maybe I should be on this comic book also. And if you don't have a billion comic books out, if you only got like 16 titles out, that's the number that Shooter always uses whenever he talks. If you've only got 16 titles out, every month, you can do that. But if you got like 100, what are you going to do? But yeah, if Marvel had less books, but more continuity, God, I would read every single book that Marvel was putting out. I would propagate every single one of them. I would be the universal storyteller and just tell all. Like, I wish that I was old enough to, and there was a YouTube back in the 80s and the 90s, the early 90s, when I was reading all of these comic books, because I was buying all of the comic books. I would literally sit there and, like, okay, guys, this is what's going on. And I could separate it between, here's the X-Men stuff, here's the rest of the Marvel stuff, here's all of the DC stuff in general, and it would work. Ooh, your internet just got goofy for a second.
Yeah, I was just about to type in the chat. No, I don't want to interrupt the show, but I was lagging and I could feel it. You can hear me perfectly now?
Huh? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm messing with you.
Well, it's nice that you actually have the physical issues and you're running to the issues, not just online going to Marvel Unlimited or spell it alphabetically. That's cool. It's probably more fun.
No, some of them I do have to do that with. Like the Amazing Spider-Mans, I don't have all of those issues. But on Marvel Unlimited, I bought the entire run. So I'm good. I saved up my points and I bought all of the Amazing Spider-Man run. That's the way Marvel Unlimited works. You can actually get points for doing things, and then you can purchase a run.
Right on.
So because there's way too many issues of Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, I have most issues. I have a trade paperback of the main story I'm doing, but then I've got my Alpha Flight books, so I've got those issues. I'm good. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. They reference there's another one that I had to look up also, and I forget what it is now. But anyway, my notes are actually right over here for it.
Ooh.
West Coast Avengers, yeah, and I have that issue, so we're good. Oh, and the Captain America issue also, there was a reference. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh, actually, I didn't get to that yet. I don't actually have that issue, so that's going to be a Comixology single purchase. But yes. But anyway, yeah, back in the day,
why don't you do the monthly?
I don't know.
Pay $7 and you get the whole, yeah.
For Comixology, that's what it is?
No, Marvel Unlimited is what it is, and I think there's a super lag for that.
There is. Yeah, it's $10 a month for that, and I was thinking about it, but I have all these points from always reading the articles, so I just do this instead. Yeah, why? Why would I just do what I want for free? I don't want everything that they have. But anyway, so yeah, that's the deal. Anyway, I loved issue number 1, the one shot basically of Evel Ewing's Lucius. Really, her name is Lucius. Outlaws.
I just made it up.
Unbelievable. Like, what is this misinformation you're spreading? Okay, so how about there's a book coming from this that we wanted to talk about, and you are lagging really bad.
Warriors.
Yes, the New Warriors, dude. Okay. So this happened on Tuesday. The drop happened on Tuesday, the reveal from Marvel on YouTube and whatever else they did. And I was flabbergasted. But I was in the middle of reading all of my comic books and catching up and trying to make my videos for the next day. I only did 8 comic books this week. And aside from X-Force, I did them all Tuesday night. So Wednesday morning, everybody could see the stuff before they went to their comic book store. Bruh, like, what the hell am I looking at? He just left. Let me bring him back in. Boop. Hello.
Yeah.
So
I did that purposely. I thought I would be back in sync.
I figured you did. Okay, so New Warriors announcement. me see who these new mother effers are. It's like I'm
Oh, I can tell
just
you exactly who they are.
okay.
Their first one that was introduced was Trailblazer. Now,
Yes.
Trailblazer is fat and
Hmm.
not like, no, he's fat. No, this is obesity fat.
Hmm.
I love diversity in my comics, and that even means when it comes to weight. But
Yes.
I need a reason for why this superhero who does feats of strength and agility is out of shape. There is a reason for this. It's because the power is the backpack.
Yes.
Now, if your backpack does all the work, then I can see how, you don't really got to run, jump, fly, and all that. So, okay, it makes sense. And
Yeah.
I had no problem.
You and I are in perfect sync with this also. I look at what's you know the name. What's this wrestler's name? She punched Becky in the face. She made a
Nia
mistake.
Jax.
Nia Jax. There you go. Nia Jax is a big girl. She's also hot. You know what I'm saying? Nia's hot. She had to be taken out because she did flub. She did accidentally punch the most popular wrestler in modern day wrestling in the face, by accident and break her freaking face. That was a really big screw up. And then unfortunately Vince was like, or whoever, I think it was Vince pushing it. No, go with it. Really be the heel. Really sell it. No, I think that we know the difference between kayfabe and real life. And no, you literally effed up. You effed up, and you hurt the most beloved wrestler in the world right now, and then you're going to brag about it, even though that's in kayfabe. That's in poor taste, and people hated it, and they booed her out of the freaking stadium. And we haven't seen her in a while, have we? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So the last time I saw her was she was in a video with Randy Orton and a bunch of others, like reacting to their
The
Royal Rumble
RKO.
entrances. Yeah, the RKO incident. It's like, dude, nah, done. This conversation's over. You screwed up. You need to cool off for a little while before you come back, and maybe try to come back as a face. Because yeah, no, this isn't working. But she's a big girl. She can't do a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? She's really just working off her size, but that's what she's got, and she is a different look. And I like her being in wrestling. Similarly, I like the idea. She's got a magic backpack. There's people like, oh, obviously just taking the ideas from such and such and such. Yeah, so everybody who flies, they're all just taking the idea from Namor, right? People want to say Superman. No, Superman stole the idea of flight from Namor the Submariner. Yeah, those little ankle wings, the most influential things in all of comic book history. Just going to point that out. What do you call it? Namor flew a full 6 months before Superman flew. But what do you call it? Yeah, here's this big girl who has a magical backpack. Okay, cool. I looked at it. I'm a D&D player. I'm like, ooh, a portable hole or a bag of holding, saying cool. So it makes sense. Yeah, I'm cool with her being big. I think that she's still a beautiful character. I'm down. I'm totally down with it. I like it. The next
And
character.
then,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, there's screen time.
Yes, screen time is the second one that I saw. I like this outfit. I don't think that this needs to change. I also similarly like her outfit. Let me go back down to that. Her outfit looks fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anything wrong with it. I dig it. Hood up, hood down. It's cool. Screen time looks good to me. He's meme obsessed. Like, it's funny they're not giving the superpowers first. Well, for him, they're giving his personality first. He's meme obsessed. He's obsessed with memes. That's cool. That's cool. I almost feel like this is a joke, like it's a boomer making these characters, but it's Daniel Kibblesmith instead,
And,
which
and
is
that's
cool.
that's when I was like, his name is screen time. Isn't that thing that parents say, hey, you only have 2 hours of screen time and then
Yep.
no more Twitch. So because of that, I was like, okay, it's a little bit of a joke. This is the guy from the Colbert Show. I see it. And then what came next was these
Well,
twins.
hold on. Let's just slow down. All right. So this guy has the ability to always be hooked up to the internet. You know.
Like
So, huh?
Viv Vision always has the internet access. Vision too.
Yes, that's right. But that's not like their main power source. This is this guy's main thing. So they're actually going to play off. I can already see this. Like this is the new Warriors. They're already going to play off the idea that he can get all of his information immediately from the internet. Imagine being able to Google anything, right? So it says here, does this make him effectively a genius? He sure acts like it does. But here's the thing. How many times have you seen something on Wikipedia where you're just like, this is false. This is 100% false. We were just talking about Jim Shooter. I did the whole Wikipedia fact or fiction thing with him, and he's like, "Oh, this." Like he told me afterwards, like this is one of the best interviews I've ever had. And I'm sure he tells a lot of people that, but like he actually went into the detail and whatnot. He's like, "You literally helped me clear up so many things that from this point on." I think that anybody can look at it and just say, okay, no, wrong answer. This is a lie. This is a lie because the man himself said. So, yeah, there's lots of false information on the internet because anybody can type anything on the internet for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down with the idea that this guy's whole superpower is based on his instant access with the internet. You can see all the flaws like built into it.
And I'm not bugged by internet gas. It's comic books, man. Gamma
Yeah.
radiation, super soldier serum, infinity formulas. It's all stupid. So internet gas is nothing. I mean, let's see them explain it in the comic book first.
Exactly. Yeah. The idea is that he got hit by an experimental internet gas, which is just it is stupid, and I'm cool with that. So is the idea of oh, gamma bombardment. You got hit by a gamma bomb, and it's like, come on, man, that doesn't make sense.
Radioactive spider.
Yeah. I got bit by a radioactive spider. Oh, but actually, it was a mystical spider who was just coincidentally irradiated. Come on, man. Like that's supposed to make it better. Like it's all silly, saying, and I love it. We got to accept a certain amount of silly. So I'm okay with internet gas also. And then B negative. This is a silly name, but it sounds like a rap name. I listen to rap. I love rap. So I'm okay with this. This sounds like, the next big rapper is going to be B negative. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a B negative that I never heard of.
Now, is he the sourpuss of the group? Is he representing the, angry portion of the internet who probably criticizes this comic book? Like, is B negative that, or is he not?
He might be. He's a classic, long past decades, like the 90s and the 2000s. Isn't this when Twilight came out?
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't see this guy as being a goth because that's 80s and I guess 90s. You know what I'm saying? That's 80s and early 90s. This is from the 90s and 2000s. So I think that goth movement is dead by that. I hope. I think that it's
still goths in schools today.
Okay, cool. I guess they're also hipsters instead of hippies. So things just change. But he's talking about a classic long past decades like the 90s and 2000s. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's going to do like a, not Bela Lugosi version, but something along those lines. But he got a life-saving blood transfusion, we assume, from Michael Morbius. And now
That bugs me because you can't assume that he got it from Morbius in like the preview. I haven't even seen an issue out yet. So you can't create that narrative as the person who's writing this. We assume he got it from Morbius. No.
Oh, it says he is a goth kid. B negative is the goth kid. When he was a baby, he got a rogue life-saving blood transfusion, we assume, from Michael Morbius. Maybe it's going to be in the narration, like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, Michael Morbius did such a really? Why would he do such a thing? Wait a second, when did he do that? Do you have any proof that he did that? Well, no, that's it happened, man. Just trust me. Maybe that's the conversation. I don't know.
I'm still not okay with it, but okay.
Well, why would freaking Jennifer Walters get a blood transfusion from her cousin? Right? So similar situation. Whatever, man. B negative ages like a regular person does, or does he? They keep on saying, or does he? But he definitely drinks blood, or does he?
Oh,
the thing is, they're pointing out they don't know, and we don't know anything about this guy. Yeah. So
Marvel has a 10-year sliding timeline. Morbius, he got the formula for Morbius when he was how old? A baby?
Yeah, it says when he was a baby.
How old does he look now? More than 10 years.
Yeah.
There you go. I just found a flaw in the comic.
Flaw in your understanding. It's
How so? If he got it when he was a baby, what's a baby? 1, 2 years old? Does he look 12? No.
you're saying the 10-year sliding time scale.
So the
No,
first
it's
time, what?
it's a sliding time scale.
So
Like
10 years ago, Morbius got his powers, correct?
maybe it depends. It depends on the way they're going to look at it.
When did
Um,
Morbius debut?
it is listen, it is a sliding time scale. Listen, how old is the Punisher right now?
You tell me. I don't know.
Exactly. Who knows? But he was in Vietnam, right?
Right.
What do people who were in Vietnam look like today?
Well, they're much older than the way Punisher is
Hey,
drawn. Did
so
they
that
ever give him like the Infinity Formula or some sort of explanation?
yeah, he's been rebooted because of the Franken Castle and Angel Frank Castle thing. So personally, I'd rather them just simply say, you know what? He's a Vietnam vet. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? They slid the thing. Ben Grimm was a fighter pilot in World War II.
And I understand that when Ben Grimm was created,
Mhm.
there was no foresight of we'd still be writing comics in 2020. I'm
Yeah.
good with that. But when you're creating a new character today and you're telling me when he was a baby he got Morbius, or maybe he could have
I,
been.
honestly, I think we're spending too much time on this, especially when we just said we don't know anything about him. So I think that honestly, maybe that's the flaw that's going to come out. Maybe you're 100% right, and in the comic book, somebody's going to be like, "Wait a second, Morbius got infected with that curse when he was, what do you call it? Like I don't know, this many years ago. How are you this old and you got affected when you were a baby by Morbius?" And I'm like, just trust me, it happened. So maybe
I've
that'll
never
happen in there also.
hoped more that someone from Marvel watches my content than now, so that an editor can be like, "Oh, that Chillmonger guy, he just all right. We got to repurpose this character." Yeah, all right. Enough with screen time. Who that's a name that people use it in a negative light, but we're gonna empower people. First of all, and Ernie, you thought this too. That reminds me very much of black culture and rap music and
Who's Ernie?
uh, Ernie, the Blurred Without Fear.
There you go.
No,
Give
but
him
he
give his
knows
props.
that's no, that's public knowledge.
Okay, well, there might be some people watching us who don't know who Ernie is. So, Blurred Without Fear is a YouTube channel. He's also on Twitch. Totally awesome guy. Check him out.
And yeah, it's sort of like how there's a certain word that you don't want me to say here that we shouldn't say because it's a negative word and it's a horrible or worst word in the English language. But for some reason, black people used it to empower each other and say it as a term of
Oh, gotcha.
endearment,
Yes,
and that's what they're
the
kind of
N word. The N
going
word. Yeah.
with safe space, snowflake, and screen time.
Wait, how are you equating them?
Because the writer said in that video that has 100,000 dislikes and like 2,000 likes, he said that these words are thrown at them in a negative light, and they want to take it and take ownership of the title. So now, like, I satire. He's just trying to offend everyone. This is a South Park episode in a comic book. Do you remember that when Mr. Burns went to that university campus and he saw all the SJWs?
Yeah.
It's that in a comic. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, pause this, watch that. It's like 3 minutes, and then come back.
Okay, let me look at this. Holy crap. Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the video now. It came out on March 17th. 2.9 thousand likes, 109,000 dislikes.
There you go. It's 2% green.
Wow. Wow, this thing got ratioed bad.
What was supposed to happen? Were the people who are called snowflakes like, I identify as a snowflake and this offends me, or this is for me? Like, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. And then there's the we're angry at everything crowd, SJW, who are like mad at it too. And I'm like, why are you guys mad? You're the ones who call. You should be happy that your terminology is being put in the mainstream.
Look, my problem with it, like here, I don't necessarily have a huge problem with this because if the comic book fails, it fails. If it succeeds, it succeeds.
Hmm.
Who knows? Who knows? First off, the costume designs are stupid.
That's
You know,
subjective.
like, it is subjective, but I think that they might also change. You know what I'm saying? I think that, they decided to put this out in a video on YouTube like this as um I don't know how much Marvel respects YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? If you've got a website, they're willing to talk to you, have a conversation with you, this, that, and the other thing, which is
Yeah.
why I'm trying to, look into getting a website built. Um, what have you? They'll talk to you if you got a website, but that's still kind of old school. You know what I'm saying? Those of us in the know, that freaking website. Who needs a website? I've got constant content going out all the time and faster and better, more personable on my YouTube channel than a freaking website can ever do.
And
Nobody's going to read.
you can see the engagement. The
Yeah.
public knowledge of how many views your video gets, as opposed to a website where a guy could say 3 million people visit my site every week. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody cares. But Marvel's still kind of old school. They got old people in charge, and they're just like, if you don't have a website, I can't take you seriously. Cute. Well, the writers and the artists contact me on the regular. You know what I'm saying? I just had 2 artists in my from Marvel in my, besides all the independent guys in my live stream just a couple hours ago. Hey, they know where it's at. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about what Marvel, the Marvel execs think or don't think. We'll get younger people in there one of these days and they'll actually get it. Unfortunately, when I talked to Jim Zub, the first time I met Zub, he was like, come over here. And I like went behind the table. He's like, come here. And he showed me on his phone. He's like hiding it. Wouldn't let anybody else see it. He's like,
Okay.
this is the new design for Riri. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, you got
He's
to
like,
see Sean Isaac's redesign? Or was it Stefano Caselli?
yeah. What do you call it? It was the original design, which we never got to see. I don't remember the name of the armor, the Iron Man armor that was black and gold. Damn it. I know the name.
I know there's the Silver Centurion armor.
Nah, that was like the Mark 7. That was way back in the day. Iron Man
Around like 2009-ish.
black and gold armor. That was not the Mark 42. Why are they saying the Mark 40? Was that really the Mark 42? Son of a gun, it was the Mark 42. Okay, there you go. And there was a name for it also. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it was the Mark 42. Yeah, because I remember Mark 42 being red also. But anyway, this was black as well. Anyway, whatever it is, he showed me this armor, and Riri's original redesign after Thanos crushed her old armor it looked like that. It was a more feminine looking armor, built for her smaller, her shorter and slighter frame, but it looked like that. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. He's like, right, this is amazing. So then the book came out and it had all the pink in it, and I'm like, what the? So next time I see Zub, I'm like, hey, the hell happened? He's like, dude, just don't. And like he actually went into it, but like he was bothered too. He's like, he didn't like it. He flat out, he didn't like it. He didn't like the pink and all that stuff. He's like, that's not what was originally shot. Like you saw. I was like, I remember. I was like, do you still have it? He's like, I still have it. Like, dude, it was bad. Like it originally looked great and they did that crap. So hopefully they're going to change this and make it look a little bit better.
Armors get changes all the time, so that's somewhere it'll be used again.
Yeah. It would be cool if they did do for Riri like they do with Tony, and just give a new armor every new volume that she's in or something like that, or several times per. Geez, how many times did Bob Layton have the armor changed? Lots of times, like probably more with him than with anybody else. And he's got the best stories out, the best Iron Man stories ever out there.
And we know with the movies, the movie culture, every new movie there needs to be a new updated suit. So that's why Spider-Man had like a darker, instead of a blue and red, it was dark black and red.
Yeah, well, they do that for the toy sales.
For the toy sales.
Yeah, when you do it in the comics, you're literally just doing it because you want to, increase the participation and get people interactive and like, oh my God, this new suit. Because if it could do new things, it should look different too, right? So, yeah, wow. I don't like the way the costumes look, but whatever. They do have different personalities, which I like. Twins should have different personalities. They want to make the one guy. So there's Snowflake and Safe Space. They got Safe Space. Now listen, I like Safe Space. All right. Is he the one who's non-binary?
Snowflake.
That's Snowflake. Okay, never mind. But Safe Space. What's so special about him? Do you remember?
He's a stereotypical jock,
Yes.
except he was wearing tight tights and didn't look like a stereotypical jock.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a stereotypical jock at all.
But that's what I mean. It's just a joke. Yeah. If you watch the Mr. Burns thing where the water polo guy was the jock, but he was saying some softy stuff, it's like, yeah, I get it. I can see it. Everyone, I'm the only one who gets it. Everyone else on the internet's either, oh, I can't believe how offended I am, or, oh my God, Marvel's the stupidest people SJW. Like, it's a joke. Or it's not, and I'm completely wrong, but this has got to be a joke.
That's the thing. I look at also, and that's exactly what I thought too. I'm like, dude, please tell me this is just a joke. Like, I'm looking at the date. I was like, is April Fool's Day early? Oh my God. Like, I'm completely flabbergasted by this. Like, what are you thinking by putting this out? Because this is Kibblesmith. Kibblesmith is the guy who put a freaking living giraffe head and neck on Deadpool. Like, he's the guy who freaking put vibranium, the entire vibranium mound in Jersey. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is the guy who just, like, he did that version of Loki in the Loki Agents of Asgard, and like, I can't stay with anything that he does. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, he had a joke in Loki that was great, where there was a library of books and there was a stack of them that went high. And he's like, you see, at the library, we keep the tales of all of these heroes from the Midgard. And it was like Spider-Man's story, and there was like a high stack of books. And beside it, there was this stack of books that went up to the ceilings. And he's like, who's that? Oh, that's Wolverine. He's in every book.
Nice. Yeah, because there's in way too many books, right? No, that works. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, like observational humor. It's great. But then there's these guys like Kibblesmith that tells these, like, look, I'm okay with a dick joke every so often. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with a fart joke every so often. But if, like, every joke that you do, like Vince McMahon, you know what I'm saying, his humor. I mean, sometimes, like, if that's all, is that all you got? Is that all you got? You know? Robin Williams, considered one of the greatest comedians of all time, even when he was alive. So even when it wasn't a sympathy vote, he would, he's like, yeah, there's this, there's that, there's all these different jokes. And if nothing else works, you can always go back to the dick joke, you know? So, like, that was a last resort for him, which I dug that. You know what I'm saying? I dug that about him.
Let me just stop you mid-thought. Did you laugh when Eddie Guerrero stole toilet paper from Big Show?
I don't remember that. I didn't laugh when he shot sewage at everybody, though. I'm like, it's okay. It's a great reference. Like, we already saw Kurt do the milk on everybody, which was already a great, you know, contrary to the beer on everybody from Stone Cold. But then Eddie doing sewage. I'm sorry, what's the reference supposed to be? You know, that Mexicans work in sewers? I mean, I don't understand. What's the reference supposed to be? What's the joke supposed to be there? I didn't find that funny at all. Yeah, so no. But
sorry, get back on point. So
yeah, sorry, you totally derailed me, man. Where the hell was I? When you sorry to stop you, you're not forgiven. Where was I? You don't even remember, do you?
But this is my safe space, okay? You're not gonna come at me, bro.
Oh my God, this guy. This guy.
I'm gonna end your screen time if you keep that up.
Dude, I'm about to trailblaze your ass.
You gotta be so negative.
Nice. Don't be such a snowflake. Oh man. We did the whole thing.
Warriors. By the way, these characters are not the new Warriors. They are, like, even within the 20 pages we're going to read in that first issue of New Warriors, they'll probably get like a few pages dedicated to them. They're not even the focus of this book. They just happen to be the ire of everyone's attention.
Yeah, I really hope it is just like small thing. Anyway, so that's what I was saying. There's a Kibblesmith. I like, he's the guy, he just likes to tell these jokes that he thinks that everybody's going to laugh at. And then he starts laughing. And then when nobody laughs, he starts laughing at his own joke, thinking that he's going to get, the movement started. Sometimes you got to start your own slow clap. So like he's very, very, very out of touch, but he thinks that he's in touch. So like, I do hope that this is just some sick joke. I mean, like they've already done the cover for this. They've done the cute little art and whatnot. It would be really great if this was just, we were just messing with you guys to get you guys see if you were going to be like, what? Because it would be great if that was the case. I would love to be able to laugh at myself and be like, dude, you actually had me going for a minute. You know what I'm saying? The other people, they got some explaining to do when they're just like, this is SJW. Look at Marvel. They're such trash. All this garbage. It's like, oh my God, you please calm down with your aneurysm,
Because these are new characters, fresh. They're not taking away from your old established favorites. That you should have no issue with this.
Ooh, that is a good point. That is a very good point.
Everyone's forcing diversity in here. It's just a brand new book happening over there. And and when you complain to me that why do they make comic books, when you complain to anybody, why do they make comic books for people who are not fans? Comic book readers are not going to read this. I think you should, because you want to expand your audience. So to offer something for people who maybe weren't reading comic books, but this gets them in the door, that's always a positive thing.
Could very well be, yes. But there was the argument. I think it was you weren't you just making not too long ago? You were talking about before we went on camera. You were talking about you don't necessarily need a woman to write something for a woman, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
So we were talking about the president or vice president. Joe Biden said, I must get a vice president as a woman. And I said, I'm not with that. I don't support that. But if Captain Marvel's director, as they announced, or it got leaked that they're looking for a woman to direct specifically, I said, I am okay with this. Because one is a movie, and I want this film with a female lead to have a female perspective. And that's not damaging anything. One is country. And that's so important. Gender shouldn't matter. It's literally about the best person for the job.
Yeah.
One is entertainment, one is real life. So I'm actually okay with sometimes saying I need a woman or a man specifically. That's fine with me when it comes to entertainment. I'm good with that 100%.
Yeah. And just for further clarification of what you're saying, in case somebody's, going to argue the point.
If they're offended, they're a snowflake.
Okay, calm down, bud. What do you call it? Because like I can see you laughing. A lot of people aren't going to be able to see you laughing right now. But what do you call it? With a director, there are plenty of female directors out there, just like there are male directors, and females are trying to get a foot in the door because they don't have the history. Like when you look at a lot of these directors, what I'm saying, they're old school, like Steven Spielberg and whatnot. James Cameron. Hi, can we have somebody new come in the door? Can somebody else get some food in their mouth? What I'm saying, to quote Machine Gun Kelly. Can somebody else get some food in their mouth? What happens? They you actually have people like their title, their job description is director, and they happen to be female. But then there is no title for vice president. What I'm saying, for like, we've got like 400 people trying, women trying to be vice president, blah, 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 blah. No, that's much more limited. There's only one vice president of the country at one time ever. What I'm saying? At best, you get like 2 nominees and only one of them will actually get it. What I'm saying? So like the vice president thing is something where it's not something as simple as, oh, look, what I'm saying, we're just going to take men out of the equation and only look for women, because no, that's a little bit rougher to do. What I'm saying? And it really is pandering. There's no way to argue, in my opinion, there's no way to argue that's not pandering. But in a specific case like this, if you're going to have somebody writing a non-binary writer, I think that the person should be non-binary. Kibble Smith is married to a woman. What I'm saying? So I think that this, if this is going to be the first person in comics like this, I think that the person should maybe have at least a little bit of like, please let me know who your references are, who's guiding you along this line. Because like Kelly Thompson, we both love Kelly Thompson. She had Vita Ayala make suggestions to her, give her advice for a non-binary character that she was writing, for one of her Captain Marvel comic books. What I'm saying? So she gave Vita credit for that and one, special thanks. I asked Kelly, like, what exactly was the thanks for by chance? Oh, Vita gave me some suggestions for blah 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 blah. And Kelly's also the person who told me. There was a couple people, but Kelly also told me, oh, and Vita is non-binary, so it's not a she. I'm like, oh, sorry, I actually didn't know that. Then I went to Vita's Twitter. I'm like, oh, wow, look at that. So
It says identified as they them.
yeah, if I remember correctly, yes, it says they them. What do you call it? So blah, 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 blah. So similarly, like this is my Iceman argument. It's like everybody has sucked at writing Iceman because it's all people who are not gay who are writing a gay character, and the only thing they can think of is how can we make him more gay? Please stop, because for me, I don't see anybody being written as how can we make them more what you call cisgendered. Saying you're the gender identity straight, right? Whatever. I don't see anybody saying, how can we make this character more straight? No, you just write awesome stories for the characters, With Iceman, it's like, no, he's a gay character. We have to do gay stuff. No, you don't. You don't. You can just say, oh, okay, here was this awesome comic book I was in. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. I'm going to go out with my boyfriend. Oh, yeah, hey, that's right, because he's gay. And it's done. The conversation's over. We already had a good comic book with a character who happens to be gay also. It's
the way Jerry Duggan is writing him right now. That's good. It's like remember when he froze up that ship and it was horrible.
Yeah, that was my big thing. I loved the way that he was written in there because they didn't have to bring up that he was gay. Oh, but there was a picture earlier on where he's kissing Christian. What do you call it? Emma Frost's younger brother. So Christian Frost. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, cool. He got a kiss and he leaves and he goes off and he freaking, does his crazy things. And it's a strong Iceman moment. And it had nothing to do with him being gay, which is, oh, wow. Can we have more of this, please? So like, I just feel like if you're gonna, like, I don't know, man, I just don't see gay people going out all the time and, I'm gay. No, I just see people doing comic books and living their life, working a 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying, and getting by from one day to the next, and then they go home to a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That's what I see. So, and I just wish Iceman could be written like that. Similarly, if you are going to write a non-binary character, I hope that there's at least somebody giving you advice. I hope that Kibble Smith knows somebody who is non-binary, at least one person, if not multiple, and then just like give me an actual representation because I don't know anybody who's non-binary. You know what I'm saying? And if this is my first, real exposure, not real, my first, general exposure to a non-binary character, I want to know what the character is actually like. You know what I'm saying? What the character would actually be like in general. So yeah, because that's all I'm looking for. But either way, like I was saying before, my original thought is that with Kibblesmith, he's the guy who laughs at his own jokes. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy who will start his own slow clap. He's the guy who really, it seems to me like he's very out of touch with what actual humor is. Mind you, he's a writer for the Stephen Colbert Show. You know what I'm saying? So is that the late night show or is that the old Stephen Colbert Show, back when Stephen Colbert was actually funny?
Oh, you don't think he's funny now? Come on.
I really don't. But he's also talking about more serious things, like his opening monologue, he does some funny stuff, at the end of the day, but I don't see it. I really just don't see it.
Who do you like? Conan, Fallon, Kimmel?
Screw them all. But honestly, you know me, I'm more political. So like right now, especially when I see people, they're trying to talk politics, but then you're also trying to throw in jokes. It's like, dude, you're not telling the story. So I don't know what you're up there for right now. Like, you're not here to tell, like, you're not a joke teller. Like, you're not a comedian, I should say. You're not a comedian. You're not doing stand-up right now, even though there's a stand-up portion in the beginning. You're not doing stand-up. And you're not reporting accurately. So what exactly is your purpose? And if I don't know what you're doing, I can't enjoy whatever it is that you're trying to sell to me,
Even Trevor Noah.
Honestly, screw Trevor Noah. Not impressed with Trevor Noah at all.
Damn.
My wife loves Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah loves him. And me, I just see him as this guy who's just, he really talks like he knows everything. And then when you study his actual discussions, yeah. Can I hear you when somebody's not writing for you, please? Because yeah,
I'm
mm,
okay. I mean, the show is one thing, and then who he is outside of the show is another. I'm just judging him by the show, so I'm good with him sounding like he knows things, even if someone else is writing for him, even
yeah.
if it's got a Daniel Kibblesmith behind the scenes.
I hear you. My wife listens to him, and I'll walk in the kitchen, I'll hear, him talking about whatever, blah 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 blah, and it's like, this guy, like, what are you reporting at this point? It's like you're crap bashing all over America, which I'm not a nationalist, so I'm okay with it. I'll talk bad about America also. I'm good with it. You know me. I'll absolutely talk bad about everything, but also talk the good, and I'm not just crap bashing things, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm not, making up things. I'm not being farcical
Yeah,
about it. And
I just heard you give credit to the Ohio Senate governor, right?
yeah,
He's a Republican, and he was talking about how we shouldn't be voting right now. And
yes,
yeah, that's a noble thing done.
it was. It was. He saved a lot of lives. I guarantee he saved you a whole lot of lives, and he's a Republican. Oh my God. I thought Republicans were all evil. No, they're not. They're not.
No,
Some people do good things. Some people do bad things. Your political affiliation has nothing to do with it in general, you know?
but for anyone listening to this, vote Bernard Sanders at your local
That,
primary.
I don't know if that's legal to do that, to tell people who to vote for.
Well,
I don't know if that is or not.
does it matter where I am right here? Like,
Well, we're in Canada, and I don't think that's
it's a safe
illegal at all.
space,
It's a safe space.
and we got snowflakes that come down. You know, the thing with snowflake is, that the name came first, and then they're like, okay, how do I make this a power? Shuriken.
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me. It's like, if this is real, you literally just made snowflakes for the power. It's like you didn't really see. And here's the thing that I especially want to get into with safe space. I think this is one of the most ingenious powers ever. I love this.
Uh-huh.
He cannot make a force field. He makes force fields, but he can't protect himself. He can't even make a force field over here and stand behind it. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's actually protecting someone. You know what I'm saying? It can only be to protect someone else.
Oh.
So, like, for me, former military, yeah, I'm the guy who, like, in the military, we talk, in the infantry, we're the ones who talk about, dude, I would take a bullet for you if if I needed to. You know what I'm saying? I would take that bullet for you, because that's who we are. You know what I'm saying? We're like, dude, I would jump on that grenade to save the people in my foxhole.
I
You know what I'm
would
saying?
do anything for you. You sang a Bruno Mars lyric, I'll catch a grenade for you. I just sang the second lyric. People get it. You don't. So.
Okay. Bruno Mars took that from the military. Anyway, freaking Bruno Mars. Anyway, yeah, I literally look at it as, yes, being self-sacrificing is what being a superhero is. That's exactly what it is. When I hear people like freaking Zach from Comics Diversity, whatever the hell he's calling himself nowadays, talk about Mark Waid thinks that you're supposed to save people and stuff like that. Pff, who thinks like that? Zach was in the military too. He actually served 2 years longer than I did, because he went in and then left and then went back in again. But still, because he couldn't make anything in his life at the time, his own admission. So what exactly was his purpose for going into the military? Like, what did he get out of it? Because, like, I went in, and most of the people I know in the military, we went in because we wanted to protect America. We wanted to defend the country.
You went in before 2001?
Yes, I signed up in 1993.
Okay.
So I actually got out in February of 99, which was 2 years and 9 months before 9/11. And I was just talking about it with my oldest daughter a couple days ago, that she was born the month before 9/11. So if she wasn't born at the time, I would have reenlisted. You know what I'm saying? Because hoping that our government wasn't just going to go into frivolous wars with two countries that had nothing to do with anything, I was kind of hoping that what do you call it? We would actually go after the right people. But yeah. So I'm glad that it didn't happen that way. But yes, I really was indecisive. Like, should I just go? Should I just enlist again? Because I was a soldier. I was an infantry soldier. I was very knowledgeable. I knew what I was doing. There was already plenty of training there. I could have gone in. I could have, helped to alleviate the situation, but I would have been an Avenger, in my mind. I would have been an Avenger. But yeah, it just, I finally decided, like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And I'm glad I didn't. It's the right decision. But yeah, like, to me, I'm pretty sure that's what most people sign up in the military for. So there are people who believe that they should protect other people. All that being said, I love the powers of safe space. I think that they're really great. They really make, it's like he could wind up getting shot while he's trying to protect other people. I think it's great. But as far as Snowflake, like, you literally just wanted to use that name. So you thought, what's a superpower I can do? He'll make Snowflake shuriken.
Yeah.
Oh man.
See, the powers of safe. I mean, yes, the safe space.
Yes.
I must have been laughing over the video because I don't. This is the first time hearing of it. I didn't even
Oh,
know
really?
that it was a protective barrier that couldn't protect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a reflex that he automatically protects other people from being shot, but or from being hurt, but he can't. He, for some reason, doesn't have the ability to protect himself with it. I love that. That's comic books that just write themselves, as far as I'm concerned. That's brilliant. But, like, what the hell is Snowflake? They can make, like, what are you going to do with it?
I'm upset they didn't make more than just Snowflake. Like, what about
Oh, you can always add people to the team.
Orange Man? You know what I mean? His real name is Chad. Like, I got ideas. We were on Discord, like, thinking of, representation on the other side, the triggered folks.
You guys were on my Discord. I wasn't there. You guys are trashing.
Yeah. Sterling.
Go on.
Oh, there's one called Dude Bro. I got one called Kofefe. Now, Kofefe's special. He's got two forms. There's his normal state, and there's his red state. He believes climate change is a hoax because Iceman is an Omega level mutant. So how could we have climate change and Iceman at the same time? And about mutants, he wants to build a wall over all those Krakoan gates and keep them over there in their shithole country because he doesn't play that. Kofefe. Let's put him in there. I actually saw a comment in the comment section. The biggest villain is going to be Right Wing. He can fly. Yeah.
But he leans right when he flies.
Yeah. Man, we got Professor Bill.
Oh my God. Oh, you're a bastard. Nice.
They've got so many words that that the people who call them snowflakes, they've got some words too, and they need to be represented equally. And
they need to be represented equally. Dude, here's the thing. You know what? We've got, like, Ultimatum for which was basically a Nazi group, Nazi-ish right-wing militia group that went against Captain America because there were never any politics in comics before. Anyway, you've got Hydra, which is Nazi and whatnot. So you got AIM, basically nerds who were pissed off for being bullied when they were younger. So they put on beekeeper outfits and hazmat suits and went out and decided to, fight the bad guys. You got all these different groups and whatnot. I say that the enemy of this new Warriors group, I think they should be the Triggermen.
The Triggermen.
Yes.
Triggermen. Man, if you have a weapon, they get to control your trigger. I don't know.
Oh man. I'm saying. So yeah, this is asinine. Look, I honestly do hope that it's a sick joke. I hope it's something that just happens a little bit really briefly. And then, in the comic book, I hope it actually happens and just whatever. And then they get shut down real quick by freaking Speedball and whatever. Excuse me. And then, but then I hope that some of these guys actually do go out and actually get some kind of like I said, Safe Space sounds like a pretty cool character. The costume kind of sucks, but hey, I would like to see them actually go out and like I said, screen time I think kind of writes himself. I think that's freaking awesome. Like, this is your only power, and you always think that you're right. Yes, this is what boomers always yell at, millennials. You always think you're right. You always think you're right too. So yeah, I like the idea. Oh, the main mastermind villain could be Boomer Man. Boom Daddy, something like that, whatever.
I didn't know why I think of that. I didn't think of that term because that's another one that gets thrown out.
Right? Okay, Boomer. Yeah, his name could be like, Oakdale Bombast Man or whatever. Just, whatever, like Barley. I don't know. What's Oscar Barley? That could be his real name. And then, his superhero identity is Boomer. So it could literally be initials OK Boomer.
I see where you're going.
Right?
So we'd have like a Suzanne Jessica Walker. And
there you go.
There you go.
Suzanne Jessica Walker for the SG. Oh my God. Okay, so do you guys hear the rumors of Daredevil joining the Amazing Spider-Man?
I heard the rumors, and I think they're not valid.
They're absolutely not. Kevin Smith was talking about it on one of his Fat Man Beyond podcasts, and he had to clarify a couple of days ago that no, this is just stuff that I'd heard on the internet and rumors I heard on the internet, and I was just talking about them. Like, sorry, it's Kevin Smith, man. The guy's always high. He's always high. So no, he's not. No, don't take this as don't take this as gospel. There would still be a couple years left before they can actually do that. At least another year before they could put Charlie Cox in the place of Daredevil on one of these shows. They were just talking about, they need like a high-priced lawyer and, whatever, doing such and such. It could be Jennifer Walters. And how perfect would it be to have Jennifer Walters in the movie and then, oh, look, because, it's going to advertise our TV series.
Right.
Just, hey. Yeah, there's that. Anyway. And they could get a different actor if they wanted to or whatever. But yeah, just the idea of actually giving some kind of recognition. Hey, check this out on Disney Plus. A lot of those things on Disney Plus we already talked about last week. They're all delayed. Every single one of them is delayed.
Unfortunately.
We just found out that something on Disney Plus wrapped up right before all the craziness happened, though.
Is that Mando?
Yep. Mandalorian season 2 just wrapped up on Saturday or Sunday, something like that. It just got wrapped up, and season 2 is completed and finished as far as the acting. They're in post-production right now, so yay! We're gonna get a season 2 of the Mandalorian, hopefully sooner rather than later. Hear anything about the season?
Yeah. Apparently they're bringing the greatest Star Wars character since Luke Skywalker is a chump now into canon. They are entering one Ahsoka Tano. And playing the role of Ahsoka Tano.
Oh yeah,
Rosario Dawson.
You didn't introduce her correctly. My girlfriend, Rosario Dawson.
That's right. My girlfriend, Rosario Dawson.
Whoa. You too? What the hell is going on? She's dating both of us?
And Cory.
Not cool. And Cory Booker. Yeah, screw Cory Booker, right? You know what? At the end of the day, 2 Jersey guys and then you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Unfreaking believable.
The way that she looks, like the 2 characters look like each other, it makes you think Filoni was in the designer room, when he was doing Rebels and Clone Wars, saying, I'm going to cast this woman. It'll be Rosario Dawson. I know the direction Star Wars is going. It's going to look like her. And there it is. Now, Ashley Eckstein, the voice actress of Ahsoka, she's an actor also, and she's not doing it. I'm okay with this. How do you feel?
Well, does she look like her? Does she actually have acting chops? Because it is what it is.
But it's also a lot of paint, and the face is orange and it's got white designs on Ahsoka's face. So you don't gotta look like Ahsoka necessarily. But Rosario Dawson's got this facial structure down.
Yeah.
Cheekbones.
Big, gorgeous eyes. Just have to make them blue.
Yeah. Contact lenses.
Yep. Easy peasy. Also, she's 40. I just looked it up really quick. That's about the age that Ahsoka would be here.
Mhm.
So there's been a bunch of things put out that what do you call it? They are actually going to put her in it. That Rosario has actually been cast as her, and that she's going to show up. Now we just saw in season 1 that the Armorer, totally awesome character, and I'm really pissed off they haven't made a toy for her yet. Hey, the Armorer told the Mandalorian, "Hey man, I need you to go out and take this child, Yiddle. I need you to take Yiddle and go to try and find a Jedi so
Yeah.
that it could be with its people, so it could get trained the way it's supposed to be trained." Huh.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Do you think that means Sasha Banks is gonna be Ahsoka Tano's stunt woman? Maybe?
Huh. That could possibly work. That could possibly work. Now, yeah. Anyway, yeah. As far as the voice is concerned, they can still do the voice work because that's usually pretty easy peasy if they wanted to dub the voice.
Uh,
But
is it that easy? I remember watching All Eyes on Me. They got Snoop Dogg to do his character's voice, but it was a younger actor playing it. It didn't fit.
I don't know that Snoop Dogg is considered an experienced voice actor, though. I think that she could probably pull it off, though. You know what I'm saying? She's an experienced voice actor. I think that she could pull it off.
Isn't the blame on the actor in the scene and not the voice actor? Like the voice actor will do the recording.
Maybe that would be the case, but I don't know. You're also talking about there was this one kid who tried to do a voice. Like it's a kid. Rosario Dawson is a very established actress. You know what I'm saying? She's 40 years old. I think that she could pull it off.
And enough time has passed where I can believe why the voice doesn't sound just like Ashley Eckstein's adaptation. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, yeah. All things considered, I think that would be fine.
I'm
So yeah.
so happy. Like for the next 6 months, when I think of Mandalorian, I'm gonna have a smile on my face. It might
Yeah.
even come earlier just because they need to get things on Disney Plus.
Yeah, yeah.
How long do you
Very
think
well could be the
the whole
case.
isolation, everyone stay at home thing is gonna last? I foresee it's gonna go for another 2 or 3 months, maybe even 4 months.
Oh God, I hope it's not that long, but it might be. Might be. I'm seeing it at least 2 months though. Yeah, yeah.
Unless mankind is doing a kick-ass job of this, and we're performing and actually keeping it down. I'm not trying to say the word because I don't want to, but
This hasn't even been 2 weeks though.
it hasn't even been 2 weeks. But that's how long it takes to show symptoms. So we'll see.
Yeah, but if you've still been going out a little bit, shopping here and there, then you know. Remember, we don't have isolated gardens anymore. We don't all have our own gardens to, take care of ourselves anymore. We actually have to go to stores.
And this is very eye-opening.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it last week. Yeah. Like we literally have to make some changes. Speaking of changes, you know that the whole Jeff Loeb um, comic book TV universe is essentially at an end. They did wrap up. They said they're not going to be doing Ghost Rider anymore and stuff like that. But one series did just finish with everything, and they're in post production. It's going to come out pretty soon. Hellstrom.
Hellstrom. Okay.
You familiar with Damon Hellstrom?
I saw him in
His-
the Avengers comic book like 10 issues back. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And his sister Satana. Yeah, so they just finished up season 1. There's a wrap up on production on Monday. That was last Monday. So, and it's going to be a Hulu. It's going to be the final leg of the Jeff Loeb TV series. There's going to be 10 episodes. Alan Uwe, I think, is the way you pronounce the main actor's name. Here's the solicit. Damon Hellstrom and his sister Anna. So not Satana, just Anna. Okay, I see what they're doing there. The father is a demonic serial killer. Damon is a ethics professor and an auction house supervisor. I guess that's a different way of saying archaeologist. They hunt for, or an art curator. They hunt those who prey on the innocent. Along the way, they find a secret occult factions who are at war with each other for years. This was supposed to be a part of Adventure into Fear that was supposed to have Ghost Rider or Gabriel Luna playing Robbie Reyes. but it was supposed to be a version of Robbie Reyes that didn't have anything to do with his appearances on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is odd.
You know what? These things were never taken seriously by me anyways, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a series that's going to come out on Hulu. I have zero interest in it. None. Fat chance of this being taken into canon. You know what I'm saying? I think this is just going to be one of those forgotten things. Loeb has proven that he really just is not good at this. He's just not. Like the Inhumans, I mean, come on, man. Like you really thought this was going to be a good idea to do this as a TV series. Oh, anybody can take this. This is going to be a breakout hit. And he saw this. He hired who he hired to put this show together. Rah. Like, yeah. You watch the TV series and you're thinking to yourself, is this a joke? Like, is Snowflake at Safe Space going to show up on this? Oh, man. So I don't even know what to say about this stuff anymore. What else do you have?
That was all my stuff.
Are you serious? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew the New Warrior stuff would dominate the conversation.
Yes.
We gave it a good half hour or so.
Which it did. Okay. Question. How do you feel about Undertaker seemingly returning back as the Undertaker, or not as just the Undertaker, but as Mark Calloway, something of a big evil, the American badass, the biker.
So during his entrance, he's got his wife behind her, Remember, there's going to be nobody in the crowd at WrestleMania. We're going to need some sort of someone to talk trash ringside, just to make things interesting. I can see her being involved in the match.
Oh yeah. Plus, after that whole tweet thing where she was, and I understand her being offended. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to name all these people, but you're not going to name Michelle McCool, really? And then they do another one featuring her also, and Undertaker puts out "Too Little, Too Late."
Yeah. Why is the Undertaker tweeting petty stuff, man?
Because Undertaker's old and he's been in character for so long that it's just like, dude, the guy's got an opinion. Twitter's for opinions. And the end, even Solomon, I follow Solomon. So even Solomon was like, oh, this gets like, sad tweet of the week or whatever. Shut up, dude. Like Undertaker's allowed to freaking tweet, and he's defending his wife, and in a very good and positive way. It's not like in a toxic way. Too little, too late. What's the problem with that? You know what I'm saying?
The website, and why do you care what other people rank you? So
yeah.
Well, you know who else we should have ringside? Wendy
Richter?
Remember, AJ Styles' wife. Isn't that Wendy?
Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, that would work. That could work. Damn it, I was thinking Wendy Richter for a second. I was all happy.
What they're doing in wrestling, both AEW and the WWE, they're still going to have the matches.
Yes, they're still going to have the matches. I haven't been watching. Is AEW also in an empty arena? It is. Damn it. Yeah, that's right. I did watch.
Heels and the baby faces sitting in the crowd. They're still at a fair distance from each other, so nothing. Yeah. But there are wrestlers also in the ring wrestling, and there's a commentary team with three guys sitting close to each other. I'm fine with it, man. As long as we know it's just these three dudes that we're interacting with, and we know not to breathe on each other or whatever. I'm like, just give me the show.
Yeah, agreed. How'd you like the idea that Matt Hardy shows up broken as always in AEW?
Never called him that. They only called him Matt Hardy. All three announcers said his name, and I heard Matt Hardy 3 times. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're not going with broken right now. Sort of like LAX, Santana and Ortiz. They're not calling them LAX. Or Blood and Guts rather than the actual match, which is called War Games. Slipped my mind.
Oh, okay.
So Tony Khan knows not to use these trademarked phrases because he doesn't want the drama.
Oh, you can't trademark broken. That's the thing that's interesting about it. That was originally with Impact, right?
Yes, and they actually held on to that as long as possible. And then the president of Anthem said, we're letting everyone use everybody's. And then that's when the WWE started calling him, I think they called him Woken at that point.
Yeah, they were calling him Woken. Michael Cole said broken when they were first introduced.
Broken.
Yeah. Yeah, things are about to be broken. And then he was woken Matt Hardy, whatever, woke Matt Hardy. And then but then he started getting broken again because he was allowed to. WWE is not going to freaking, well, I wouldn't put it past them, but they can't copyright something after it's already been released from before. It was Matt Hardy's, it was Impact's, according.
But that's who the enemy is, Impact. Tony Khan doesn't want anything with Impact. Any possible drama that could come of it. Hey, we never approved of it, so you owe us money. That's that petty stuff Impact has. And truly, just call it Blood and Guts. You're good. You know where the name Blood and Guts came from. In a conference call, Vince McMahon was asked about AEW, and he said, "Yeah, that's Blood and Guts Wrestling." And then here's you go naming a match after it.
Yeah, which is perfect. It's fine. Yeah, they just said, "Oh, it's a drone." Did they actually point out that it was Vanguard 1?
No,
they didn't say it.
I don't believe they know that. The commentators are not. Oh, maybe Excalibur might have said it. Maybe he did.
I can't remember.
Jim Ross wouldn't know any difference.
No, what a shame. Anyway, I thought that was great. And like that's one of those situations where it's like, damn it, if only there was a crowd to react it, because the place would have exploded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially the way that WWE's been treating Matt for the while. Like absolute horrible, like constantly getting chumped out for the past month or two. Just absolutely ridiculous. I didn't realize that his contract was up.
Oh yeah, it was up. And Jericho had an interview with Matt Hardy last Friday, like 2 days ago. So check that out if you want to.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, I will. I definitely will. Shoot, yeah, I had no idea. So it was like a genuine, true surprise for me. I was sitting there watching it, and I forgot. There was nobody in the freaking audience, and it's like Harper showed up, and he's calling himself whatever now, and it's like, yeah, cute.
One.
The what?
Exalted One.
The Exalted One, yeah. This is a really weird. I guess your internet's really weird. Where if I'm talking and you talk also, it's like I can't hear you.
You cancel me out, and I'm doing it purposely now. But yeah, you cancel me out when I talk.
Stop messing with me. Oh, so you're hearing that also?
Yes.
Oh, damn. So yeah, I'm trying to like shut up when you talk, but there's only been so much I can do. Now, whatever, man. I thought that was great. Like when he showed up, I'm just like, holy crap! That's amazing. I loved that. So things get really fun.
My wrestling mind says, why would you waste that? You use that on a crowd. But my logic says and the fact that they've only said during the show, the next time we're on Dynamite. They never said next week on Dynamite. They always said the next time we're on Dynamite, as if it's in question whether or not there will be an episode next week on Dynamite. So knowing that, maybe they didn't want to sit on the Matt Hardy reveal because they wouldn't know when things would return to normal. So they're just like, let's do the Matt Hardy now, get it out. Because the next few months, I'm calling it 3 months of no crowd members or anything. As long as we get the matches and a show every week, whatever.
Yeah. Do they own an arena?
No. Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium.
They just keep on renting that?
They might own that. The Khan family might own that.
Okay. If they do, then that's what they should just keep on using. Like I said, one of the most brilliant freaking moves that Triple H did was actually, I believe he owns, the McMahons, whatever, own the Performance Center down in Florida. Perfect. So perfect. Because they can just keep on using that. They don't have to keep on renting arenas to not fill them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's WWE performing in a bar. Anyway, all right. So I think that about wraps it up. Good hour and a half of content for the peeps to enjoy their lives in isolation. I hope that nobody's going stir crazy out there. So just keep on paying attention to content. Be good. Go and check out Chillmonger because he's kind of cool. I'm kind of cool myself, so make sure you check me out on Comic Book University. Check out Chillmonger on Chillmonger. And anything else?
Nah.
All right. In that case, Professor Bill and Chillmonger, Comic Book University, class dismissed. See, I was literally trying to go slow for you, and you messed the whole damn thing up. Whatever.
I have spoken.
Oh, nice way to end it.